Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 35 of Wildwood Zoo. In today's episode, I'm building the lake habitat for the grey seal. As you can see, I have done a little work off camera, as any old YouTuber would say, and I've built a glacier at the back, and in the front I've got a lake, which is what happens when the glaciers collapse into them. I saw lots of inspiration in different habitats, like the polar plunge has that sort of faux rock feel, and I thought, what if I do a faux rock glacier? You can also see that I have done some mountains in the back with some snowy peaks. This is to give a false perspective view to act like the people are just kind of in that steppe area in the environment where they're just beyond the mountain range, but they're kind of just in that area just before they get there. So I've gone for this naturalistic modern feel. This is going to be one of the newer habitats they've added along the line, where they've got the sort of fresh plywood and it's kind of sparkly and shiny. I had this when I went to Whipsnade Zoo and they built their monkey forest, and all the wood is a little bit shiny and they're waiting for it to go that sort of ivy green, or that when it gets the little bit of, what do you call it, weathered effect on it, so it gets that. The grey seal obviously cannot climb for its life, so I've just gone for a basic wall here where they've got that modernistic fence that I've got off the workshop. I'm not too sure the fence name, but it doesn't really matter. It's all on there. In the final episode, all my bits that I've used will be on there, so don't worry about that. So yeah, as I said, the grey seal doesn't climb. It just kind of uses its belly fat and muscle to kind of move itself across the floor, so it's not too much of a worry. You can also see that I've pre-planned the pond, the lake even, that it kind of goes perfectly level with the ground around it. That actually took me a hell of a lot of time that you wouldn't think of, so I've rushed myself with that one off camera to quickly do that, so it's all ready for you guys. I've also looked at some inspiration from where, not seals like the grey seal directly, but a lot of the seals like the grey seal, I found out that they like to live in kelp forests. So I was going to build my own kelp, and as I was looking for inspiration I was looking myself to look to see what plants match the kelp, I found a couple, and I attempted to do this off camera, and then I decided, let's look on the workshop, and I found this kelp pack that was actually pretty good, and it had about 90% of the pieces that I was piling up on another to make this tall effect, so it was pretty good, and I was really pleased with it actually, so it turned out pretty well. As you can see, I've gone for the very overgrown effect on the ground as well. This is to kind of make the fact that you feel like it's a new habitat. The seals haven't quite eaten all the kelp yet. It's still there and they're ready to go at it again. So yeah, you can see me adding it in just now. This is kind of the different colour, like I think that's a staghorn fern. It kind of helps bring it a little bit together. And when you look in that underwater view, it kind of, look here, it just kind of elevates it, or makes it make you look up, which is what I wanted to have the effect of, especially with the train track going through there. Gives it that seaside village feel. So yeah, I wanted to keep that. A big thing in this habitat was I wanted to keep the connection between the polar bear habitat, which will be next door on the right with the pool, and on the left I'm going to have the snow leopard habitat. That's going to take a lot of theming from Chester Zoo, where they've got their newest habitat, where it's got the Himalayan banners on, and it's also going to have some of the slate feel on the ground, so it's going to be very, very rocky. I hope that the traversable area is not going to be a problem, but the snow leopard habitat is going to be the very last episode on Wildwood Zoo, and is going to contain a lot of rocks, so do prepare yourself for that. But I would like to address the fact that I haven't been uploading for quite a while now. I haven't uploaded for about 2 weeks from the time I'm recording this currently. So this habitat has not only took me a week to build just because of how long of a process it was to get that water fixed and all the mountains off camera. Specifically, the glacier was all handmade by me, so it definitely took a little bit. But yeah, do let me down in the comments if you do want to be named after an animal, or if you do want the glacier on the workshop. I will add that to my workshop whenever I can, if I see any of you wanting to do that. But this was definitely one of my favourite habitats I built for in a long time. I just feel like it gives that naturalistic feel where you actually feel like you're looking down at a lake, which would have occurred in Alaska or somewhere like that. And I feel like in the back of the mountains, I'm going to put tons of birch trees, and on the left is going to be particularly Himalayan birch, and on the right is just going to be the birch forests. And it just looks amazing when you're down on that ground view, especially when you're going down into the tunnel. As I've done off camera, you can see it gives it so much better of a view. One thing I am going to prepare for is the lack of facts, which is going to start happening. So you probably know that I give the facts to the animals in my videos, which makes it a bit different to everyone else. But I'm going to not stop doing it, but for the next two habitats, for the polar bear and the snow leopard, I'm not going to do facts, and for the grey seal, just because when I was looking them up, everyone kind of likes the snow leopard and the polar bear, and maybe the seals not so much, but a lot of people do know about this. So I thought I'm not going to waste my time researching too much into it, as it is being back to school, so I'm a little bit focused on college work and stuff like that. So I'm just trying to catch up a little bit. So don't expect too many videos from me within the coming months, but I do have a pretty big project planned for all of you. If you're interested in a bit of storytelling, I do definitely have something planned up that will pique your interest. It's mainly going to be about some people making a zoological park within South America. So do expect I'm not going to say what theme it is, but do expect some sort of theming there. It's going to be not a mini zoo. You could call it a mini zoo, but it's not going to be a purposeful small zoo. It is going to expand, and that's kind of the whole point. As you can see, I have actually used some of the blueprints from Planet Zoo to create the door effect. What do you call it? The habitat gate for the enclosure. It's very good at creating the depth and not necessarily repeated pattern, but when you go to a zoo, if you have been, when you play Planet Zoo, you find that often you see the same building repeated around. Specifically smaller zoos, you find the same building next to a habitat that is just their indoor enclosure. Specifically for big cats, they tend to have the same. They don't really specify the needs for big cats, they generally do have the same. But when you have something like the grey seal, I have personally never seen a seal habitat with a specified indoor enclosure. They always are outside in a pond, and I know they are given like Great Lakes and stuff like that to swim on. But yeah, this is the end of my video, so I do hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like down below and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more, and I will see you on the next one. See ya, bye!